have a plan that shows you your financial future and what you're doing today to help you basically have a brighter future. You know, all the time when people are coming in, we're looking at what they're doing today and the risks that are there. I talked about sequence of return being one of those risks. I'm going to get into that again later, but there are so many great strategies available to you to make sure that you can, in fact, attain and maintain the standard of living quality of life that you desire throughout your retirement years, throughout your lifetime, throughout for your family, to take care of all your financial goals. There are ways to do this. Be one of the first 10 callers, 615-376-5325. Tess is standing by. She'll get your information. She'll send you out a packet of things to bring to your appointment with me, and we will assist you in getting a plan just for you. And this isn't just a free consultation. We're going to, you know, doing planning like this, it may take 2 or 3 visits even. That's okay. I want you to have something you can use. If you need some tax, help with taxes, and we can bring Dr. Friday in to meet with you as a part of that. If you need help with estate planning, we can bring in an estate planning attorney to assist you in that way as well. So all of this, again, first 10 callers, 615-376-5325. And again, if you've got issues like that, maybe you've got annuities and you're wondering, are these the right things to be in?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, not always. Annuities, yes, there are some good annuities. There are 1,000 different annuity products out there, though. Keep in mind, out of 1,000 products, we've narrowed it down to maybe 25 or 30, okay, that you out of 1,000. And one of the reasons, variable annuities make up something like 70–75% of the annuities in the marketplace. And I just said, they're probably a very bad idea. Well, they are a very bad idea. There may be a rare exception that have no load types, but here again, we still are restricting the way you can invest. So
you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think if I've heard it for 20 years of saying diversification is the secret to really having everything out there, because that's the one thing. I mean, if this is a big chunk of her retirement and it's sitting someplace that's that risky, that's scary.
Any amount of money, even if it's a small part.
Well, that's true. You're right. But I mean, if there's a little there, but you've got it spread between, it may not have a big effect on your overall retirement. But if it's 50% of your retirement in all variable annuities, and I'm just saying, then you haven't taken the time to really analyze if that's really the best plan for that person.
This is one of the areas. Sometimes people will go with annuities because of they allow you to grow money tax deferred. Now, in her situation, it's already a retirement account. It's already growing tax deferred. So, though she doesn't need that type of wrapper, there are other reasons someone might look at annuities. Safety is one of those. But let's go back to the tax issue.
Okay.
So one of the things that comes with taxes is this about if you're, again, married couple, you're making $100,000 plus. Again, if you're going over 100, let's say you're 110,000, well, and you're contributing how much ever. You can contribute up to, if you're over age 50, you can contribute up to $24,000 a year into your 401k. For a couple, that's $24,000 each if each of you have 401ks like that. So putting more money into your 401k in this time of year is a great time to do that. This is where
this is when exactly, and it's still not too painful, because a lot of times we'll sit here in November and say, hey, you know what, if you're $5,000 or $6,000 over that $100,000, and the difference is 22% versus 12, and we're like, well, you need to, go ahead and maximize that. That could be losing an entire paycheck or 2 paychecks to even try to do it. Where if your boss will, or if your company will even allow that full contribution at one time like that. So this is the time. You still have 5 months left, taking a little bit every month, still maximizing, but really looking at your pay stubs. Where are you today? How close is this going to get me to that 110 mark? And if I take $3,000 or $4,000, I was telling Hank during the break, one of my clients, we were only $3,800 or something different from, if we project it right, from keeping him in the 12% versus the the next part, $3,800 going into 22%. He's like, no, I'm gonna maximize. I'm gonna put that into my 401k so that we keep that income at that 190. It was actually 97, 98,000 or whatever it is that he'll be at. And
that's the thing. So let's look at it this way. If you've got your 10,000 over 100 as a married couple as an example. Now, if I put that 10,000, let's say I just pay the tax on it. I'm going to pay $2,200 in tax on that money because I'm now in a 22% bracket on that 10 grand. So I've got $2,200 I'm going to pay in tax. What would it be if when I retire, if I'm in a 12 or 15% bracket at that same thing, I've just
$1,200.
$1,200 instead of $2,200. this is going to make a lot more sense. I just save $1,000 in taxes by putting it into the into my 401k. On the other hand, all right, if I'm under 100,000, then I'm already, you know, do I want to continue? So if I'm putting, now if I've got, say I'm making 90,000 as an example, I still want to put 10,000 in, but now maybe I put it into a Roth IRA. Exactly. Okay, or a Roth 401k, right? You know, which would allow a higher contribution. You can do, if you're making contributions into a Roth IRA, for you it's $6,500, for your spouse it's $6,500. So the most you could put in is $13,000. Compare that to a 401k, as I mentioned, over age 50, and you can do $24,000 each. So huge difference in terms of contributions. Now here's another piece when we talk about 401ks and IRAs. So that's one thing, just from a tax standpoint, I can put more money away on a tax deferred basis. Now there's other trade-offs. Do I get matching with the 401k? Free money. Well, I want to definitely take advantage of that. So criteria I'm looking at, if I can get matching, the employer is going to put money in. If I put money in, if I put 5, they put 5, or whatever it might be, I'm definitely going to at least do that. Then I look at the tax piece. But ultimately, there's another part to that. Once I've maxed out the tax benefits and the other things, or at least I'm balancing those things, and that goes to the investments itself. If my 401k has really terrible investment options, well, then I got to think of the growth as well. I still want to get that matching. I still want those free dollars, and I still want to look at taxes, but I'm going to have to balance the tax benefit with the investment itself in terms of that growth.
Okay, quick question. Yeah. You know, when he says these things, I was thinking, so let's say you do have the scenario where your boss is giving up to $5,000, but you want to be putting away 10 or 15, you know, in your budget. Can you actually have a SEP or a outside deferred retirement account of some sort that you can contribute to while you're still contributing that first 5 to get the match?
Absolutely. So you can still, depending on your situation, you can do an IRA. So if you've got retirement accounts, if you have company accounts, so you've got that, and then you can go into a an IRA in addition to, and possibly depending on the type of income. I've got, you know, clients that also have the ability to do the 401k and a SEP because they get some self-employment income, which gives, again, an ability to put in more money, say, than a standard IRA might.
And if your wife doesn't work, or your spouse, I should say, doesn't work, you can still, the IRA you can contribute, or if they don't have a retirement account at work, they can retire, right? So
exactly. And this is the same. And then even, let's say the tax part, we've got that handled. Now there's still another, we still want to save. Being a good saver, in many instances, in fact, I will say to you, and over the years, one of the things I've noticed with clients, I've had clients in the past that just put money into savings bonds or just into CDs and that kind of thing. But because they were such great savers, they still did very, very well in terms of their financial future, okay? They were still able to accumulate enough money to take care of them throughout their lifetime. So being a good saver is first and foremost the biggest part. So making sure that you're putting away, paying yourself first, putting money into these accounts, that's the most important part. Then how it's invested is going to now take advantage of your, you know, what you've done and multiply out the benefit of that. This goes back to, again, same thing. We're looking at the taxing, but we also want to look at the investment side. So once we're saving, we've minimized taxes, and we also want to maximize our returns and minimize our risk in the process. Now, I'm going to come back. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to jump into this return risk that I was talking about earlier, sequence of return risk. Sequence of return could be the difference between running out of money and not running out of money. And I'm going to share with you, there's a great thing in this book from Tony Robbins, and there's a piece in here which deals really well with this sequence of returns that I'll share with you when we return. But first, a quick break. Join us here. We'll be right back on the Retirement Report.
Has come to enjoy your golden years, but have you saved enough?
I'm